A very good morning, students. This is Ades. I am with my subject Accountancy, Chapter First, Financial Statement of Non-for-Profit Organization. Till we have completed the topic Material Consumed Statement या Cost of Material Consumptions. Today we will discuss about the topic of Fixed Assets Account. After completing the fixed assets account, all the topics which are related to income and expenditure account, then we will learn what the terms will affect to the income and expenditure account and the balance sheet. So after these 4 points, what the terms will comes in income expenditure account and the balance sheet. So dear students, today our sixth class on this chapter. So today we will learn about the fixed assets accounts, the format of fixed assets account, and what we will show in fixed assets account. So let's see, we are going to see the format of fixed assets accounts. Okay, let's see. Yes, dear student, this is the fixed assets account, and this account is also divided into two parts. Left side it is divided and show as a debit, and right side it is show as a credit. That is clear. So I did not mention date at the bottom of fixed assets account. Why? Because fixed assets account is not fixed on which date NPO will prepare. Means in NPO on which date fixed assets account will be prepared. So we can prepare fixed assets account any during of the year, anytime, at the mid of the month or at the third after completing the 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, whatever the months. So I did not mention the date. Actually, that date we will mention here on which we will prepare the fixed assets account. So basically, first what the thing we have to show. If we're talking about the debit side, so it is mentioned a particular column, amount, then credit side particular column and amount. So in debit side, it is started with the balance BD. Balance BD means it is the opening balance of fixed assets account. When the year is started, at the beginning of the year, what will be the balance of fixed assets account, that will we have to show here. After this, if we are selling the fixed assets on any particular date, so we will show according to by bank or cash, that will be the sales account. That is clear. So when we selling the fixed assets, we will show by bank / cash, because sometimes we receive amount in a bank account and sometimes in cash in hand. So that's why maybe bank come here and can be bank can be written here and can be cash written here. So but it is a sales amount. So on which date we sales the assets, on that date we calculate the depreciation on this particular assets for which we are preparing the this fixed assets account. On that date we will calculate the fixed assets account. That is clear. So then what the balance we have in the beginning, what the total depreciation is charged on this, and on which amount we have sold on that particular date. After I'm taking an example, if there is a 50,000 rupees of assets in the beginning and 10,000 rupees of depreciation is charged, and then it is sold in 35,000. So 5,000 balance is still remain. So 50,000 rupees of machine or any assets, 10,000 and 35,000. Total is 45,000. So that machine having loss on sales of asset, that is 5,000. Are you getting my point? It means 50,000 rupees of value in the beginning, 10,000 depreciation. So the machine value will be on that particular date 40,000, but the machine was sold on 35,000. So 5,000 will be as a loss. If the machine is sold in 45,000, 10,000 depreciation, but it is sold in 45,000. So in that situation, company is gaining on this selling of assets. So that gain will show in a debit side. So both the term gain and loss, both never comes in fixed assets account. Are you getting my point? Either gain on sales of assets account will be shown, or either loss on sales of assets account will be shown. Both the term never comes at the same time in particular account. It is clear? So this term is written as bank or cash, means purchase. It means if we purchased any assets during the year, so that thing we have to show here. After all these transactions, sometime what happen is some balance is still left at the end of the year. So that will be the closing balance of assets. So this is the total fixed assets account. So for the term we will transfer to income and expenditure account. First one is depreciation, second one is loss on sales of assets or gain on sales of assets. It is clear? Both the term will show in a debit side of income and expenditure account, and this term will show in a credit side of income and expenditure account. Only these things we have to remember related to income and expenditure account. Everybody, I think you maybe understand about the fixed assets account. So this topic, I am telling you frequently, this topic is not more important related to your board examination, but we cannot say and we cannot left this topic. It is clear, we should be confirm in each and everything, because 1 marks question may be arise from there. So that's why we cannot say this is a not important, because CBSE changing their pattern or marking of questions every year. So that's why any single topic we cannot left behind. It is clear? So now dear students, all the topics related to income expenditure account we have completed, but in next and now we are going to learn about the income and expenditure accounts, because all the accounts which are related to income and expenditure account we have learned. So now we are moving on the income and expenditure account. So with the format of income and expenditure account we are going to discuss about that. Let's see the format. Yes, student, you can see the complete format of income and expenditure account. From the top we are starting to learn each and everything related to income and expenditure account. Okay, at the top you can see there is a name of the organization, for which organization we are going to prepare the income and expenditure account. That at the top, income and expenditure account for the year ended. It means on a specific date this account is prepared. On a specific date means at the ending date of that year, for which year we are preparing income and expenditure account. So this income expenditure account is also divided into two parts, that is left side and the right side. So left side you can see this is a debit side, and right side it is as a credit side. It is clear? Expenditure means what the expenses incurred in complete year for particular heads. So these particular heads we will show in a expenditure side, means debit side, and what the incomes earned by the particular organization as not for profit organization we will show in a credit side or the right side. So one by one each and every transaction we are going to understand or learn. In starting you can see there is a to salary, means what the salary we have paid during the year, but sometime what happen, there is some outstanding. O slash s means outstanding at the end. It means outstanding at the end means this is a current year salary, so that's why we adding with the that salary. It is clear? This is the adjustment transaction, and this is the main transaction which we can see in a receipt and payment account. So now totaling both the things and then less outstanding in the beginning, because this outstanding is related to last year, so that's why we subtract this balance from this total. So after subtracting this we can write the final amount in the amount column. Then to rent, what the rent we have paid during the year, that we will show here. To insurance premium, PRE means premium, what the insurance premium we have paid for the complete year, so that thing we have to write here. Sometime what happened, we paid prepaid means we paid insurance for the next year, so that's why we subtract this prepaid insurance from the total insurance what we have paid during the year. So we will subtract here, because why we subtracting this, because only the current year expenses and incomes we show in this particular account. That expenses if related to last year or next year or income, we will not show in income and expenditure account. Only current year income and expenditure we will show in this particular account. To audit fees, whatever the audit fees happen in the NPO, so that we will show here. To printing and stationery expenses, that will be show. To honorarium expenses, means for the or for any respect, whatever the things we paid for the celebrity or any other special person. To telephone expenses, telephone से related जो expenses हैं that we will show in a debit side. To repairs, different type of machines and assets are there in the business, so whatever the repair expenses have incurred, so that will be shown in a debit side. To depreciation we have seen in a assets account, so there was a depreciation in a credit side, so that depreciation we will show in a income and expenditure account, that is expenses of the business, so that's why it is shown in a debit side. Whatever the loss, to loss on sales of fixed assets, means whatever the loss were there, if the cost value of fixed assets is 40,000 but we have sold in 35,000, so 5,000 loss were there, so that loss we will show in a debit side. Next, to sports material used, one account we have learned the cost of material consumption, so that used the material, sports material used, that value will come from cost of material consumed, so that used value of material we will show in a debit side. Now move on the income side, so we will learn what the incomes are there and where we will show in this incomes account. There is a subscriptions. By subscriptions it means what is the subscription we received during the year, this is the received subscriptions, but we cannot say this subscriptions only for the current year, this subscription may be or can be related to last year or can be related to next year, that thing you have to be remember first. So this is only the subscription which we have received during the year. In this subscription maybe including in this subscription maybe including last year subscription, current year and next year. So all the subscription whatever we have received, that we have to show here. And then add outstanding. OS means outstanding. At the end, whatever the outstanding subscriptions still have, so that outstanding subscription we will adding here. And if there is advanced subscriptions in the beginning of the year, so that subscription is also adding with the received subscription. So total subscription will be here. And then we will subtract outstanding subscription in the beginning, because this subscription is related to last year, so that's why we will subtract here. Then from this amount we will subtract this, the balance will, we will get this balance. And after that, if there is advance subscription at the end, because this advance subscription is related to next year, so that's why this advance subscription we will subtract from here. So after subtracting the final amount, what will be received? So this is the final amount of subscription, means this is the current year subscription which we have to be received. So after all the adjustment doing, then we will get the final amount. So special subscriptions account we also have learned in last, means in fourth video, in fourth lecture. It is clear? So this is the particular use of subscriptions account in income and expenditure account. Now I think you have finally used, you can finally used the subscription account in income and expenditure account. And this subscription is also a income of the NPO. The next, by entrance or any admission fees, this is not for the specific purpose, or not for the special purpose. So only all the incomes and expenses not for specific purpose which we have to show, or we can say only the revenue expenses and revenue incomes only we can see income and expenditure account. Everybody is clear? Only revenue nature of expenses and receipt we will show in income and expenditure account, not a capital expenses or capital receipts. We will never show in income and expenditure account. Capital nature will move to balance sheet. In next class we will learn what are the capital expenses and receipts. We will show in a next videos. Okay, by entrance or admission fees, what will be there? So that balance we will show in a credit side. By general donation, not it is for specific purpose, so that's why this donation is also showing here. And by legacy donation, here I have mentioned the general word. So this legacy donation is not for a specific, it is a general donation, but it is related to legacies. So that's why this donation is also showing in income side for a credit side. It is clear? If there is general word is not mentioned, so this legacy donation will transfer to balance sheet. Everybody is clear? Balance sheet in liability side. Now next, by sales of old newspaper, this is a scrap, this is not assets, and this is scrap if we sold, so then whatever the balance we receive or any cash we receive, so that is a revenue nature, that will show in a credit side. By rent, sometime rent we can receive, only rent I have written. By rent receipts account, now it is showing if in receipt side rent is written, so that means it is a income for the NPO. And if the payment side rent is also written, because both the side rent can be written, there is a rent and there is a rent. So if this rent is receipt side we can see in a receipt and payment account, and but this rent we can see in a payment side. It is clear. Payment means expenses and receipt means income. We have to be learned it is clearly. So there is a by rent receipts, whatever the rent we are receiving, that is a revenue nature. That's why it will be shown in a credit side or a income side. Similarly, by gain or profit on sales of fixed assets, if the value of fixed assets is 40,000 on a specific date or at the end of the year, but these fixed assets we sold on 50,000 of rupees, so 10,000 gain we receive after sale the fixed assets. So the 10,000 value will be showing in a credit side or a income side. Everybody have clear? Then next, by sundry receipt. Sundry receipt, many type of receipts can be there in a NPO. So sundry receipts, which receipts not cover under these receipts. So all the receipts will showing in a sundry receipt, that is that should be related to only revenue nature. So that will be shown in a income side or credit side. Now there is two words are mentioned at the bottom of this income and expenditure account. If we're talking about this to surplus, and at buy side it is we can see as a deficit. It is clear. Both the balancing figure, if we're totaling this side and totaling this side, means debit side and credit side, expenditure side and income side. After doing totaling, whatever the balance will comes more. If this balances comes excess, means this side means income side or credit side. So then the surplus will be there. I have mentioned here excess of income over expenditure. Excess of income over expenditure means incomes are more than the expenditure. So in that situation we will get the surplus balance, means we can say profit. But NPO we cannot write as any word profit or loss. So that is a profit, means that is surplus. It is clear to all. But if you moving on a credit side or an income side, so when excess of expenditure over income, are you getting this? Excess of expenditure over incomes means expenses are more than the incomes. In that situation, what we receive? We receive as a deficit over here. It is clear? Any one of these means surplus or deficit. Any one we will get as a result from the income and expenditure account, and this deficit or surplus is treated or transferred to balance sheet with the capital fund. What we're doing with deficit or surplus with the capital fund? So surplus is added to the capital fund, but if we're talking about the deficit, so deficit is subtracted from the capital fund. It is clear? So here you can see once again, this is the complete format of income and expenditure account, and this account is more and more important related to your board examination. Actually, from last 2 years 6 marks question is coming from this particular account. So that's why it is more and more important for you. It is clear? So you have to be more careful when you preparing the income and expenditure account. We can say not all the transactions are shown in an income and expenditure account in this particular format. So many more transactions and many more accounts still left, and when we solving numerical problems related to income and expenditure account, then we can understand and we can search and we can learn when we preparing income and expenditure account as a problem solving questions. That is clear? So okay, student, learn this and try to solve related to these questions whatever the book, what the book I have sent you by the mail. So okay, thank you students for today. Thank you.